welcome to the Flat Cat Fettler. First of all, I need to apologise. This is the video for the hw57 restoration that I found in a skip, and a friend said, do you want it? Now, I put a video on a few weeks ago, and you can see basically the condition of the rifle when I first got it. Now, the first part of this video I deleted by mistake. It shows me taking the stock off, showing you what the rifle looks like, and taking the stock off and sanding it down, and just basically just doing the stock here in my cellar. Unfortunately, I deleted it by accident and I can't retrieve it. But the good news is, the best part in my opinion, which is like the action, the metal work and everything else, is all saved. I've done that and I'm downloading that as we speak. So that is going to be, that's in my garage, is that part. But at the end, you know, you get to see the full rifle and the stock obviously all together as one complete thing, and you can see how far it's come along from what it used to be like. So I do apologise again, because I've run out of storage basically on my phone, and I started to delete some pictures and videos that I don't necessarily need, and unfortunately I deleted them. And I can't retrieve them. I've tried, but it's nothing too drastic. You get the gist, and the best part is obviously still on, and that's in the garage. So it is what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, please subscribe, and let me know what you think. If you need to see what the rifle looked like beforehand, if you look on one of my videos, it says hw57 barn find. Have a look on there, you'll get a gist of exactly how bad this rifle is and how far it's come at the very end of this video. You'll see. Please watch right through to the end, and you won't miss anything. If you've got any questions or anything like that, let me know. Anyway, enjoy the video, peeps, and I'll see you on the other side. Right, many weeks later, I'm cracking on with the action now. It's been a bit of a drawn out process. Obviously for you lot it's going to be like 20 minutes or something like that, but this has been done really now. Obviously I wanted it done over like a week, but it's been more like 3 or 4, because work and life's just got in the way really, and plus Mrs.'s car bloody broke down, so I had to fix that, put a clutch in it, and that weren't fun. Range Rover Evoque, or Ejoke I call it. Anyway, we're back on with this now. We're going to crack on with metalwork now. Now, I am not by any means a gunsmith, nothing like that, okay? I'm just a bloke in my garage, right? I'm just tarting it up. I'm not restoring it, I'm just tarting it up because I want it ready for me one of my older sons, Jesse, to come, to come shooting with us, because it's coming into winter now, and this is when I like to go hunting and shooting. It's just all the leaves are down, squirrels are easier to spot, you know, pigeons and all that stuff. So we're gonna crack on now with it. So I'm gonna show you now. By the way, the stock's done. I'm happy, about 95% happy with it. So, but that'll do. Like I say, it's a lot better than what it was. And I'll do like a reveal once it's all done. So we're gonna crack on with this bit. So this is the metalwork. As you can see, it's quite bad. It's, you know what I mean. So this will never be a mint, it's never going to be a mint gun. This is just purely a field gun. If it shoots accurately, that'll do. It's going to get knocked, banged, scratched, scraped, all sorts. But this will be his first, I'd say, proper good gun. He has an air rifle already, one of them black Chinese plastic things that I got him in a bundle, which I did a video of, and it's had quite a few views out now. So basically these strip down exactly like an hw95, 98, they're all same type of action. But I'd say hw80s, I think 77s, 35s, 97s, this complete back trigger group from about here just unscrews off. You take the pressure off, like, you know, you start unscrewing it, and see, they're easy, they're really easy. These are hard. So as you do this, right, so basically you've got these 2 pins located, you just knock them out, and then as you start to lift this trigger up, just keep your thumb on that safety, And the only reason why you're doing that is because it's under spring tension. As you pull that out, it'll want to pop off and fly off. And obviously we don't want that. So we take that off first. And then once we've done that, there's these little square things here. Quite hard to see, there and there. And the same on the other side. They're like a locking pin, if you will, that holds your trigger sits in. It's there like a locking pin, and then finally you take the pressure off and give it like a little turn, not even quarter turn, it's like millimeters, and the final pin then lets go. But obviously you need to keep it under pressure. Now, my advice, if you've never done anything like this, would be obviously, one, don't touch it, get somebody else to do it. But if you want to fancy a go at it, by all means have a go, you know what I mean? But I look at lots of YouTube videos, like the TBT channel, very good. There's loads of them who show how to strip them down and everything else. Everyone always advises just to cover their own arses, really, like a clamp and something to push against this to stop the spring flying out and all like that. I will be completely honest, I have never in my life used anything like that. I just used brute force, pulling it down and put it spring in that way. That's how I've done it all my life, with my hw57s, with everything, Webleys, the lot, everything. I've never messed around with these little clamps that like put your gun in basically and it clamps it up so you can take it off. You know, you can make them, there's channels where it shows you how to make them. So, you know, it's up to you. If you've never done it, you're a bit unsure, I won't bother. But if you fancy a go at it, by all means have a go. That's how you learn, in my opinion. So first of all, we're going to take these pins out. So I'll just show you down here. So these pins, they should just come straight out, really. Yeah, there you go. There's one. There's one pin there. Let's put it in it. I'll put them in a dish. They're not very hard to do. That's that one out. And now you just put your finger on there. This should just wiggle out. And there you go, that's the trigger group. And then if you look, and then that just comes under tension, it's on a little spring there. That's it, spring. Put that in there. This trigger, these triggers are absolutely world famous. These are a record, spelled R-E-K-O-R-D. Brilliant trigger, unbelievable trigger. You know, I will tell you now, don't ever take one of these apart. Alright. These are a highly specialised thing to set up. If you're not sure, just don't touch it. From the factory, there's nothing wrong with them. They're completely fine. If you want to tweak it, obviously, do like quarter turn. This is like, I forgot now. Second stage, and then you've got one here for your first stage. As I say, I'm not too sure. So that's why I don't really touch these. Personally, and there's no need to. Right. What I will advise is though, on some versions, there's a nut here at the back, you can just see it there. On some versions, the actual metal part here is threaded. It's like been drilled through and then threaded. But on some others, you've got that nut there. Now all it is, I think it's 5mm nut that goes on. Just be careful you don't lose that. But if you do, it's not the end of the world. But obviously, you know. Right, so we'll knock them out. Now then, these can be a bit of a shit to get out. So inside, there's access holes to them. Inside, they're very hard to see. These are all there, and it can be a pain in the arse in these. So I'm gonna get, let's put you up here. So I'm gonna get 2 out now, and then I'll show you how I've done it, alright, and I'll get right back to you. Just bear with me. Right, we got them out, and I'll show you how we did it. So I cut down an Allen key, and what I did, you get to them, you can see these holes here, and you just get to them and just basically lever them out like that, if you will. So then if it come, hang on, so you can see it coming out at the other end there, there. So it just pushes them out. Now there's 4 of them, and on also on the hw57 is that you got this to take out as well, that goes here. So now the only thing that's holding this in, I'll point it out to you, so I've got to be really careful now, because obviously everything's under tension at the minute. The only thing that's holding it in is that there, and that is part of this. So what you do, you push it in and ever so slightly turn it that way, or get a screwdriver and just nip it that way. So that's what we are going to do now. Right, this is the most dangerous part, this bit. Right, so I will say, if you're not confident, do not do this, okay? Because literally, people can be seriously injured by doing this. So you've just got to be careful. We'll put this down. I always like to put a cloth round. Put a washer there. So I've got like a little thick washer. Push it on, and you can feel, you'll be able to hear it, like that. There's not much tension on it, but there's enough. And then just use a screwdriver and keep turning, and it'll let go. He says, it's just a bit too thick, that screwdriver, but we're at a stage now. Hang on, we'll just get need a thinner screwdriver. So yeah, you just got to be really careful. Don't be, like really careful with this bit, people. Alright, now we're off. Okay, just push you down there. I use a little screwdriver, and that's it. Shut to one side. This should just slide out now. That's your trigger block, if you will. Like there. And then we've got, what I might have to do is get a bloody hell. And that's your spring, your main spring, which looks like, well, I thought it broke. So that's the main spring. Now we've got to come back, try and get that out. There we go. And now we're going to slide the piston out. And there we go, that's the piston. So these are a PTFE piston seal. Bloody hell, it's absolutely minging this thing. You know something, it was still chucking out though. Let's put you here. It was still chucking out 10 foot-pound with this. How? I do not know. So I'm going to give it a clean, inspect it. I don't think that I'm going to be going to town putting new seals and this and other. I'm just going to clean it up and put it back together, and then we'll see what it does over chrono, and hopefully that'll do. And if it needs a new spring, then I'll get one. But if it doesn't, then I'm not going to. I don't really want to chuck hundreds of pounds at this thing. I know springs are not mega money, but you know what I mean? I like to be frugal in these hard times, especially getting hammered with bloody. So I can pop that out now. That just pops out. That's what your pellet goes in. Right. So we'll put these in parts washer. We'll give all these a clean. This is your spring guide, plastic. Now in hw57s of old, these was metal, and I'm not too sure about anything else because I've only really messed about with hw80s, and they were murder. They were like folded, like what they did is cut this like down, so you had 4 pieces splayed out, if you will, and that's what held the spring at the back. Now you have a washer, if you will, and what the spring is eventually cut through them, and you'd end up with them square pieces all inside your bloody cylinder. So that all needs cleaning. Now we're going to see that cockring lever, if this pops out. That way. That way. Pin. Cocking arm assembly. It doesn't. There's no play in it. You know, it's quite tight. Right. I think that's as far as I want to take that. Because all this is hidden anyway, and it's quite a good nick. It's just this bit I want to glue. And I don't think I'm going to knock. I might be able to knock that out as well. But I'm I don't want to like take every single thing out, you know what I mean? It's yeah, we'll see about that. We'll give it a good clean. So now we are left with a cylinder in the barrel. This can be knocked out also, which I think we might do. So we'll just get something that I can use. But I don't want to damage anything. That's all. We'll try. I don't think we're going to get this out. Sometimes I try the pins different ways because sometimes they do only go in one way. That one's going. Right, we'll try and get a thinner punch. I'll be right back. Right, we've got a little punch. Look at the size of that pin, that's tiny. Now that holds the front foresight on. I'd like to get this off because obviously this is a painted part. So what we're going to do, wrap it in a cloth, put it in my vise, and hopefully wiggle it out. Oh, that's solid. That is absolutely solid. Not too sure how we're going to get this one out. Easy. Just needed a bit of a poke. Right, sorted. Right, that's how much I want to strip it down now. So now what we're going to do with this is start sanding this down and try and get some of these pitting out. We're not going to get it all out, but we'll give it a go. First of all though, I want to say thank you to all my latest subscribers, especially like the air rifles have seemed to be taking off at the minute on it, and you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I really appreciate it. I am, like I always say, I'm still learning and learning how to make a video come over, you know what I mean? Now my wife were doing it at first and she really helped me out, and there's nothing, you know, she hadn't done anything wrong, nothing at all. And even if she had, I'd still say she hadn't done anything wrong. But she hasn't, and she taught me a lot on how to use the software and stuff on a computer and that. So it was my birthday last week, so she bought me a GoPro Hero 12 for my birthday. So I'm just starting to learn how to use that. I only got it last week, so I'm still learning. And I got myself the new laptop, like I said, and I'm starting to get a bit better and better and better at like making these videos, you know, and editing them and putting it across how I'm trying to put it across. So anyway, that's enough talking shite. So we're gonna get this sanded down now, so let's crack on. Having a bit of a break. My arm's killing me. Nowhere near done yet. We're starting to smooth it out, trying to get this pitting out. We're never going to get it all out. Like I say, I'm not doing this to restore this gun back to immaculate mint condition, you know, venom tuned and all that. This is going to be just basically just to smarten it up so my son can use it. That's all it's for. But yeah, just have a bit of a break at a minute. What I was supposed to be doing today, I had a day booked to go on my bike, my CBR, call it Beth. If you've ever watched Yellowstone, Beth Dutton, she's a right bitch, isn't she? Well, that's what this is like. It's that bike will bite you hard if you mess about really hard. It's fast, a really fast bike. Anyway, I meant to go on that. It's foggy as all, it's like pea soup outside. And it's so damp, and the slightest bit of damp, I don't like going on that bike. My Africa Twin, mind, I go on green lanes with that and everything, it don't bother me, and I would have gone on that today, but I put a little voltmeter on, a little digital one, to keep an eye on what's going on with electrics when I'm riding it. And it's on a permanent live, not an ignition live, but it has a switch to switch it on and off. And I did a long ride not so long back with my uncle, about 7 hours we were doing, and we were going through at night, so I had it on and I forgot to switch it off, and it's killed. And it's not killed battery's still got life in it, but I ain't got a charger on me at a minute. And she's a pig to start on the bump because it's a heavy bike and it'll go on bump. And I've had it running for about 10 minutes, but it didn't really charge battery up that much, so I've got to charge battery up in it yet. So that's the only reason why we're not doing that, but that gives us time to you know, crack on with this. It's coming to now. That's come to, and then I'll try and polish it up, because the blue, when you're bluing it, you get more of a better finish if the metal's as shiny as possible. Now I've literally gone from, I think it was 180, and now I'm going to a 240 on the main cylinder at the minute. I've done a bit of barrel, we're not finished yet, but you can see you still sit pitting, you know what I mean? So we'll just try and get that out. We haven't finished. We're going to do this bit first and then finish barrel off. I haven't finished barrel off in here. We'll see what we can do. I normally have a drill, and I bought loads of little wire drill bits to get into these little places here, and guess what I've done? I've left it at work. I'm stupid. So right, crack on with this. Put this in here. We'll do another quick time lapse, and then I think you get the gist after that. Bit by bit, we're getting there. Still see some pitting, but you can't really feel them. You can see them. There's no way I'm going to get that out, but it's just coming to now. A bit wet and dry and a bit of oil. I'm going to crack on. That's what the barrel looks like at the minute. This is like starting to take shape now, but it's never going to be great. We'll see how we get on. I mean, that's taken me 20 minutes maybe to get just to that stage really. I've got in where the barrel and the cylinder meet. What I did, because I'm lucky enough to have a lathe, a milling machine, and I put one of these brushes on and just rammed it in and give it a good routing, and anyway it sorted it, so I'll put you back on stand. Right, after about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes of the equipment I've got here and a bit of graft, we're at a point where it's kinda, the barrel though, if you just look there, you can just see there, the nick there in the barrel. I've never seen that before. Not that it matters, it doesn't matter. So I've got it to a degree. I've got to degrease it now, but I'm gonna go on parts washer, clean everything up, put, you know, and then we'll wipe it down with methylated spirits, and then I'm going to start the bluing process on this one. So I'm going to take you over now to my little parts washer. I'm going to clean the piston up, trigger group, all the parts, and then inside of the cylinder and everything else. So let's get on with that. That's all the parts done. Well, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them. So I've cleaned the piston, the trigger block, and the main cylinder, because the main cylinder is what I want to eventually achieve today. I want to get that done today. So I've checked everything over. The piston and piston seal seem good to me. There's no scoring, nothing. I think what I will do is give this a quick polish, definitely, while it's out. And like I say though, the piston seal, there's no cracking, splits, nothing. So, and they're quite hardy, these seals, you know. I had one of my hw57s and it was in there for 20 odd years. I've never had an issue with it. So it's just a case of getting out muck out. I tell you what is good, this stuff that you get it out of them towel dispensers, and it's like ones that you don't throw away and you just keep unraveling it. I get that from one of my friends because he works for a company that make it. I get it off him and it is brilliant for anything like this. Really good. This stuff, you'll know what I mean. They're good stuff. So piston we're sticking with, that's fine. We've cleaned trigger up, got rid of all old grease and crap in it, and it seems in good condition. There's no issues with it. That'll not just come out then, so we'll put that back in. It's fine, no issues with that, so that's good. Spring, now the spring, I feel like someone has cut a coil off it, because when they finished off like that, and this is finished off like that, and it looks like someone's had a nip at coil off. Now I'm going to rock with it in a minute. I'll see what kind of power we're looking at. It should be around about the, again, 9.5, 10, which is more than enough for him. More than. So we'll grease it up. I'll more likely order a new spring, to be honest. We're hoping it were alright. It's not you know, bent or anything like that. It's not cracked or broken. So at the minute, we're just going to rock with it. We'll see how we get on. Trigger block, nice and clean, it's all done. Oh, I forgot one thing as well about the trigger block. Is this nut here. That within that can pop off sometimes. Just be aware of that. And they only go in one way. If you look, you can just about see it. It's like curved. Obviously that goes on top, so it sits nice and flush like that. Remember that. Put like that. Right. We'll do a bit more degreasing on this because my hands are full of that. The wash is brilliant, parts washer, but it's not the best for trying to get stuff off. I've used boiling water before today. I've put a bit of that on. Just give it a wipe. We need this grease free, basically. And then we're going to try the Abbey Gum Blue. I'm going to use some of the Mrs. cotton wool face pad things, I think. And we'll try it with that first. I'll do it underneath and see how it looks, because I can add that bit with stock. We'll see how it looks. I'm quite chuffed how it's turned it out, though. Again, it's not going to be a minter, but it's turning out better than what I thought it would. So let's get some Abbey Gum Blue. I'll be right back. Right, Abbey Gum Blue. It says apply with a clean cloth. I use these little pads. It's either we've hit the jackpot or we bust and it's getting painted. No, we'll see how we go. It took a lot of hard work just to get to this stage. So we'll see if this does anything. Ooh, instantly. Wow. I think a cloth is better. Definitely. They're just not big enough then. They're just not going to do it. I'll tell you what, it's an instant result. How good it looks in a minute is two massively different things. Let's see it now. it on barrel and give it a rinse and see what happens. Right, I'm going to wash it off and then we'll do a few more coats and we'll let you know how it goes. Right, this is about 30, I've done this 30 times, so basically I used a softer cloth. I ended up using this seemed a bit better, like a towel-y type material. Put a thin layer on, leave it 10-15 seconds and then wash it off with cold water and then just make sure it's thoroughly dry before I did it again. Now I've got to like 20 and it was dark, got to like 25 and it got a bit darker, and after 30 it weren't getting any darker. So this is it now. So it's not the best, I'm not saying it is, you can still see it pitting just there in light, but I feel that, you know, something that'll do I think. It's a nice, it'll do for me lad, you know what I mean. Listen, this gun come out of a skip, basically. This gun's come out of a skip, we've got to remember that, and it's never ever gonna be like new. So I'm gonna crack on with the other parts now. I'm gonna show you, well, there's only one more thing that I need to sand down and blue, and that's the cocking handle, and I'm only gonna do the actual handle because the other part of it is actually good. So yeah, let's have a look. That round, you know, I feel that we've achieved something really good here, and I feel that'll do that, you know what I mean. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to do exactly the same process now with the cocking handle. Let me just put that there. I just need to wipe my hands because these literally, I've got cloths everywhere in it. So the cocking handle has a pin toward that in, but I'm going to leave that there because it's just, I've tried getting it out and it looks an absolute nightmare. So we're going to, from here along, we're going to do that. Now, what we're trying to look for, what I do have, is some carbon fibre tape. And I thought, oh, I might wrap it in carbon fibre and just give it a bit of bling light, you know what I mean? But I think we're going to definitely just sand it down at least and then glue it, and then if I want to do that later on I can do. Like I said, this back, the linkage in that is in fantastic condition, there's no issues with that whatsoever, so I'm not going to touch that. We're going to clean this up now. I'm going to go onto the wire wheel, clean all this up and do exactly the same process what I've just done with that, and then the next part of the video now will be literally, we're going to put this together and hopefully we have some kind of nice gun. I've got some paint, so we're gonna excuse me, we're gonna paint this up, the foresight and the basically what you put your pellet in, so we're gonna do that as well. Now this pellet, I've never took one of these apart, and this pops up, if you will, but it looks like there was nothing to stop it from pulling completely out, even though it was dead stiff. So I'm not too sure if there's something missing off that. I'll have to check that out. But I have fired pellets for it, and it didn't really mind it missing, if you will. So we're going to crack on with this now, see where we're at, and then we'll do his grand reveal. We'll bang it back together. We can see it all together with its stock and everything, and then I'm going to order him. It had a sight on it, a scope with like some mounts. I'm not too sure what mounts they were. They looked quite good. They were like two bolted rings, if you will, so 4 bolts all in all to either side. So I think he's not going to much recoil off it, so I think we're going to keep with them. I'm going to get him a 3x9x40 scope, put it on, and then we'll see where we're at with it. We're just going to keep playing with it and you know, see where we go. So let's crack on with this now. There's no point videoing this because it's exactly the same process what I've just done with that. So once I've done this and we've got basically all those parts in front of us, then we're going to put it back together. So let's crack on. Right, I brought the stock in. I'm not going to show it all completely together until it's completely done. I'm not going to show you the stock just yet. The stock has taken a hell of a lot of work. Now, I've painted these with satin, barrel, the muzzle, and the latch for the underlever, and the pop-up thing for the pellet. I've painted them, they're ready to go. So obviously this is the main cylinder. So what I'm going to do, I give the piston a bit of a polish as well. Now I have no molly grease, I just have normal grease. Now the trick here is from my experience, you want as little as possible really. Now molly grease, you literally need a very, very slight smear on your spring. The less the better really, because what grease does is slow it down. Now I know I'm putting it on my piston, some people might moan at that, but I've just always done it and I've never had an issue. And eventually, if it does diesel a little bit, it soon burns off. So, you know, it is what it is. That's how I do it, and I'm sticking with that, you know what I mean? So put the piston in, be careful not to the piston seal itself. Just got to be very, very careful as not to damage it. We'll try and put it down here so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, I know there it wait a minute. So we'll, there we go. Do that with a bit. There we go. So that's the piston in. Straighten that up. So that's all nice and straight. Now then, I did find I had, so the hw57 that I bought my son one when he was 16, he's 22 now. I bought him one brand new, and we took the spring out of it, the original spring, and we put in a tuning kit with it. So it come with like a piston ring, if you will, for the back of the piston, which so it had to be machined. So the piston basically floats in between these two rings. I got that, a different spring, some washers, some weights and stuff like that, and we fiddled about it and played with it. Anyway, to say that it's a bit lively on power side would be an understatement really. But I kept the old spring, and it just so happens that the old spring is the exact same diameter. Now this spring has done maybe 20-30 shots and that's it. The only thing is, now I've got a grinder, it's about 3 coils too long. Now I'm going to put this in, and hopefully I don't have to trim any off. So again, very, very slight smear of grease. You don't have to go crazy with this, you know what I mean? It's just to help lube it while it's compressing, so you're not scoring up cylinder, that's all. People absolutely drown these sometimes, and you can tell as well, because when they fire they make a fucking boom. You know, trying to quieten spring, and there's a fine line between quietening it and then going stupid, like, you know what I mean? So let's just see how that looks in that cylinder. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that. Right, most precarious part. So we're going to put this in now. I like to put a bit of grease in just to help it seat in. Don't have to go crazy. Get that your piston guard. I've cleaned all these, so they're all nice and clean. Everything's clean. Put right thin smear of grease on. Should just go in there. Yeah. It's a bit stiff in that one. Let's go in now. Seems a bit stiff, does that? It's gone. Very stiff. Well, that's a good thing. Keep it nice and tight. Ah. Let me wipe my hands. Get to the precarious part. Now then, this is the bit that always, if it's going to go wrong and you're going to hurt your fingers and take them off. This is the bit. And I can get someone to help you, but it's one of these jobs this where it's too many cooks and all that, like, you know what I mean? You just got to be confident enough to go here. If you're not happy, don't do it. You shouldn't have done it in the first place, in my opinion. Right, so this goes in there. Look at his little washer. wherever I've put it, the dodgy bit. Put a washer on the deck here. So the washer's there. Put that there, slightly on the piss. And then we'll see if that's it. Right, I'm going to point that way, because if it goes off it's going into my toolbox and not my motorbike. Right, so that went in kind of easy. So now we've got to get these little blocks in now to make sure all that is tickety-boo. I'll put that in as well. I won't tighten that up yet because I don't want to put too much strain on this because it's literally hanging on by a thread. So these now go in a certain way. They don't, well, they just won't go in. That way. There we go. So that's that one. Oh, little mallet. Little plastic mallet. Shit. Can't find me mallet. Just be careful doing that. It's not ideal, if I'm honest. But it's underneath stock, these bits anyway. But I just want these in because I feel better. Like I said, they only go in one way, and you'll know because they'll want a seat in, and then you just need a bit of driving home. That one just pops straight in. Right, we're almost there, and then it's safe. And we can see we might be taking this apart yet because it might get what you call spring bound. I have too many coils on spring, so I'll have to maybe take a couple off. My son, there we go. Right, got a little spanner somewhere, I've used it already. That size. Tighten this up. Basically, when you get to this stage, when them pins are back in, it's safe again. You know what I mean? Until that stage, it's literally only holding on by that turning and a little lug in there. So it's looking good, in it. We're getting there. Right, let's move them out. We're going to put the trigger in now. So the trigger is the exact reverse. Move that can out of the way. Let's see if I can move you up. Put you there, so you can see. There we met. Trigger's exact reverse. So what we need first is the safety, the pin, and everything else. We need that pin and that pin. So one's shorter than the other. The short one goes to the rear and the long one goes to the front. So these are your pins, and I think they are different. Well, they're not the same thickness. So these just go straight in there when we get to that stage. So we put a safety in first. Hold that in with your finger. Trigger. Make sure the little thing's in. And then you'd have to like push it forward and then back a little bit. And then once you get to a stage there, you can let go then. Where when it's totally in, then it's just a case then of you can actually see holes of fishing everything on, like, you know. Don't have to go crazy. Don't have to go crazy. That one in. Right. There we go. It's that simple. The best thing about weihrauchs, I'm sure they were like made to be field stripped. Oh, the nuts just come out. Bastard. They're made to be field stripped, these things. I'm sure they are, because they're so easy to take apart. It's unreal. It's the easiest gun I've ever done anyway to take apart with. So right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to put in the cocking arm, so that can go in that way, and then that allows me to put a bit of grease in there actually. A bit. A little grease there. Don't need to go mad. Let's just put it back down. See what I'm doing. And we'll put his cocking arm in. Get his cocking pin. We'll just drive that on with a punch to get it to the other side, which are punches. Just add them. Oh, there it is. Right. I'll be equal both sides. Right. Now we're going to put on the, let's just see if that's right. It is. Now there's a groove there, and that will correspond obviously to the hole on that for the pin to go through. So that's what we're looking at. If we use a nice this is going to be harder than what it looks. Definitely. Right. This may take a bit of time, so once it's on, then I'll come back to you. Right, we're all on, we're all together. That's the action. Massive difference, isn't there? Massive. So that were a bit of a pig to put on, to be honest. But you know something, I think we achieved a lot. The little nut fell out, but I found it right there. I think we've achieved a hell of a lot with this gun. You know, from what it was, if you look at when I very first started this video and to what it is now, I think we've achieved something massive here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put it in its stock, and then I'll show you exactly what it looks like, and we're going to get it out in light and let you have a look at it. But I will say, I think my son's dropped it and chipped the stock down. So it's right, I'm not bothered. It's, you know, it's been a bit of a learning curve for me as well. Like I say, looks alright, quite happy. So let's do the grand reveal with it in its stock, and then we'll crack on. Right, after many weeks of toil and graft with this thing, well, fitting it in over many weeks, should I say, it's finally done. It's not perfect, but if you look at the ingredients, what we had to work with initially, then you know you'll be pleasantly surprised. I am. It shoots okay. I don't think that spring's kind of right for it. I think it's kind of overcoiled really, because as you cock it, it makes a bit of a clunk, and I think that's just a spring. But it does shoot and it works. So we're definitely going to order the proper spring for it, or I might just take a couple of coils off when I get time. But at the minute, as it is, it does cock and it works perfectly. So here we go. Tell me what you think, people. What do you reckon? From what we had to this. Now I think my son will be really, really chuffed with that. remember all this was all stained and water damaged. It's still, you can ever so slightly see it, but it kind of blends in. I'm really chuffed with it. We're not going to do any shooting today with it. You know, chuffed with that. I think any 14-year-old lad would love this, wouldn't they? It's a nice gun. It's nice, it's alright. Chuffed with it. Chuffed how it's turned out. It looks streaky, but I put oil on it, you see, so if I go out with my hand. You can still see pitting marks. But yeah, hw57. Out of the scrap, out of a skip, should I say. Barn find, completely rusty to death. Stock all battered, scratched to death. It's took some graft as this has taken some graft. It's been one of my more into it things, if you will. So yeah, lever looks good. As I say, I mean, it was never going to be perfect, were it, peeps? Never. But I think, you know, it's a nice rifle now. It's usable, it's presentable, you know what I mean? It's not worth a great deal, but I'm giving it to my son, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's taken so long. He's just trying to fit it all around work and everything, you see. So let me know what you think, peeps, of the final result. We're going to put a scope on it, and then we're going to get it outwards, me and my lad, and we're going to zero it in, and we'll do an accuracy test and see how it performs. But at minute, I'm not going to think. I think that's a nice gun, and if it don't perform very well, you know something, I'll shop it in and someone will buy it off me and give me 120 quid for it or something, you know what I mean? It's a weihrauch, so someone will buy it off me. But yeah, very chuffed. Give us a thumbs up, comment please, like and subscribe. That's the main thing in this channel at the minute. I know this one's a bit different, this video I've done, and it's a bit drawn out process, and I do apologise for that. I'm going to try and, when I edit this video, I'm going to try and make it as best as I possibly can with what I've got at the time, because I've filmed this over like 3-4 weeks, and I'm trying to remember what I said in last videos, looking back at my last videos and everything else. So let me know what you think. We're just going to get a scope this week coming up, and we're going to take it downwards, and we're going to do a bit of an accuracy test. We're only going to take it out to 20 yard or so, 20-30 yard, do a bit of a power test, and then we'll see where we go. So thank you very much, and I shall see you on the next video.